For the second week of CIS 127, we're going to be actually programming a couple different programs. If we go to week 2 and go to our assignments down here, right there, we're actually going to be creating these programs right here. To do that, we need to install Visual Studio with C++ on our computers. To do that, I'd like you to go to this window right here, visualstudio.com. And we're going to take and download Windows. I believe if you're on a Mac, it's going to automatically forward you to Mac. We're going to be doing the Community 2007. And if you wait for just a moment, we're going to get a little icon down here. If you click on that, say yes. Takes and opens up this. Continue. And this is going to take just a second. So when it's finished, you're going to end up with something like this. We want to just install Visual C++. If you already have this installed and you have everything else installed, that's fine. But for this class, we're going to be using just C++. So we're just going to install the basics for that. If you go ahead and click on this, it gives you a bunch of defaults on this side. We're just going to say, go ahead, I'm happy with that. So we're going to take and hit install. And then it's going to do this for a long time. Get ready to sit back and have a cup of coffee and enjoy yourself for a bit. And I'm going to pause it. After a really long pause here, okay, you guys been loading and loading. You should end up with something like this. We aren't going to be needing the community when we use Visual Studio C++ in class. So therefore, I'm going to suggest you just say not now, maybe later. And we're going to start Visual Studio. Pause. Actually, that was a very short pause, wasn't it? First thing we're going to do is we're going to create a new project. We're going to go to File, New, Project. The things that we're going to be doing in this class are called a window console application. Make sure you understand where you're putting this stuff. You can always browse to a different area, but this will work for now. Make sure that you're on Windows console application is what you want. We could change the name here to something different, but I'm not going to. I'm going to say OK. Waiting for just a moment here. Creates our application. And there we go. We're ready to code, just like that. For our assignment this week, we're going to create an application for states and capitals. And this is the list view on this side. You'll be able to scroll up and down to look at all the different states. And when you click on, for example, Michigan, it's going to pop up with the state of Michigan is Lansing, or excuse me, the capital of Michigan is Lansing. If we do a search bar, we can actually type in MI, and you end up with just 1, 2, 3, 4 states that start with MI. It'll narrow it down to that. Go ahead and start up Android Studio. Go ahead and create on, start a new Android project. This is called State Capitals. And next, and next, and next, and finish. Once your Gradle has stopped building, we can go into our main activity, go to Design View, click on our Hello World, get rid of him, go into Layouts, and, on Containers, and we want this list view right here. Drop it in. Should make it as big as possible. Let's call this list with a little L and then a capital VIEW. Hit enter. It should show up something like this. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go back into our, let's see, right here under Blackboard and go to the strings.txt. Should pop up something like this. Let's just go ahead and grab everything that's in here. Control C, switch back over here again. What we're going to do is we're going to add it to our resources, our values, and our strings, okay? And we're just going to take and copy over this whole thing here. Hit Control A, Control V, paste it all in there for us. Beautiful, just like that. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to write a bunch of code, okay? First thing we're going to do is we're going to create some global arrays here, okay? Put those right there. And add global. That will be used throughout this class, okay? A class, once again, is not a class like our classroom. This is a class here, okay? This is a program. It's a class, okay? And if we don't add those up here, we won't be able to use them throughout the whole program here. We're going to be adding an array adapter. Adapter right there. Okay, we're going to call it array adapter semicolon. Okay, now we're going to create a list view. We're going to call it list view semicolon. We're going to create a string array to hold all of our states. Semicolon and a string array to hold of all capitals. Okay. What an array is you can have like capital 1, capital 2, capital 3, and it'll hold a whole bunch of different capitals in it. You're going to see as we use it here a little bit later here, okay? First thing we're going to do is we're going to assign our states and capitals, okay? Capitals. 2 arrays. Okay, we're going to say states is equal to, and we're going to get resources, okay, and get string. Did something funnier. Let's see right here, get resources, dot get array, silly me. Every once in a while I do silly things like that. And we're going to do an r dot array dot, here it is, states right there, okay. What that does, it goes into our strings right here. It looks for array. There's an array called states, okay, and we're going to do capital is equal to get resources dot get strings r dot array dot cap. Oops, states this time. There like that. I did it backwards. No, this is supposed to be capitals here like that. Wonderful. And it's taken create an alias, okay? An alias for list view. And we're going to say list view is equal to, let's cast this as a list view. Okay, now we're going to, let's see, find view capital R dot ID dot list view right there. Semicolon. Let's create an array adapter. We'll talk about it. Okay, an array adapter is able to take an array, all of these states, and able to put them into a list view, okay? So you'll see just in a minute here. Array is equal to a new array adapter, okay? We have to give it some information, some parameters. We're going to give it this, which is the current activity, and then we're going to give it an Android .r.layout, okay, dot simple item. Yeah, I'm not really sure what that all means, but just go ahead and stick it right in there like that. Okay, but all I know is we're going to add states to this adapter. And now let's go ahead and put that in our list view. Dot set adapter. And we're going to give it the array adapter right there, the one we just created just above it there. Okay, beautiful. Now you can go ahead and run it. Okay, and you should be able to see all of the states in that list view. Okay, that should have worked. You should be able to see all your states in there. You should be able to scroll up and down them. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a listener to our list view. Okay, so that when we click on it, okay, it'll show us some information. List view dot set on, click right there, listener. I'll put a new, and we're going to put in a adapter. Right there it is. Okay, you hit enter. It should pop all that code right in there for you. Okay. First thing we're going to do is we're going to try to get information. Get current state and capital and post in toast. Like that. Okay, the state's pretty easy. STRA. State is equal to, we can get that right from, first of all we got to make it a string, okay, and we can get that right from our list view, can't we? Dot get item at position I, and I'll show you where that I comes in just a minute here, okay, but that will actually get the text that we've just selected, okay. I, which one did we just click? Well, this automatically comes down here and gives us right here, this I, this is the number of which one you clicked, okay? And so that should give us the text that's in that position. Now what we got to do is we got to look for the same state. So what we're going to do is we're going to look through our list of states, okay? Find one that matches, find out what the number is there, and then we're going to use that capital. Now, you could use the position here, but the only trouble is later on when we search, then what's going to do is it's going to minimize the number of items in that list view. So then number 1, which might be Michigan, will still point back at number 1 array of capitals, which is whatever it is for Alabama, okay? Birmingham, I think, or something. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to get the number of the location of that state. To do that, we're going to use int array loc is equal to, here we're going to use a method of the arrays class dot binary search right there, okay. And what are we going to look for? We're going to look for states, comma, state. So what we're going to do is we're going to look for the state, the current state right here in our array of states. So now we know which number it is in there. So now we can just say string capital is equal to capitals. And which one? The array loc right there. Okay, now let's post this in a toast, okay? Show toast. Okay, and that's a toast. Right there, dot make text, okay. First thing we have to do is we have to give it the application context. So we can just say get application context, comma. And then I'm going to take and wrap this around the next line here. And here we're going to put in a quotation. I'm going to say the capital of. Now we want to put the state in here. So we're going to add that to the string. Plus quotation mark space is space. Another plus, and then the capital. Right there, just like that. And then we have to put one more thing in here. We say comma, and then show. And I probably got my parentheses all messed up here. Capital, oh, I forgot one. Capital, yeah, this doesn't get like that. We want to put a toast. Oh, capital T-O-A-S. Toast dot length. Right there it is. Long, and then parenthesis dot show. And now we should be okay, except for we got an extra parenthesis on there. There, that was a little bit tough, but we got through it. We got a little error in here. Let's check it out. Okay, what do we got? Make text comma and then a quotation mark. Something isn't happy here. I'm going to type this line in again. I don't know what I did wrong, but I'm just going to do it again. Okay, what we got here? Oh, I got an extra parenthesis here. This is not right. Okay. And then we got context, comma, and then the and then plus the state plus quotation mark space is space plus the capital. Okay, comma. And I'm going to wrap this around. Now here we got that toast dot length. Okay, and a closing parenthesis dot show semicolon like that. Beautiful. Now that's right. Go ahead and run that. What should happen now is that when you select a state, it should take and show you. That should all work well. Next thing we want to do is we want to create a menu, okay? To do that, first of all, let's create an icon, okay? An icon for a menu. We're going to right click on drawable. We're going to say a new, and we're going to say a image asset. Here we can take and narrow it down, so we want to do just the action bar and tab icons, okay? Let's call it search. I see action search. Go ahead and look here for it. And if we search for search, there it is right there. Okay, next, finish. Next thing we got to do is we got to make a new directory in here in our resources. Right click on resources, a new directory. Not this one up here, but directory, just directory. Menu, like that. Right click on menu and say I want to do a new, and I want to do a menu resource file. And this one's going to be called our menu underscore search, in case we want to make a whole bunch of menu items. See, okay. And this is something like our main activity.xml, isn't it? Okay. We're just going to write some text in here. First thing we got to do is we got to take and we got to add an additional item here for it to look up. This item is not in our current directory of our Android Studio, so we have to take and add it. Okay, it's for the app, xmlns::app. Okay, where can it find out information about app? It's going to find that in http://schema, schema.android.com. Right there. It's popping up for us, isn't it? This one right here. Okay, wonderful. If it pops up, it's usually right. Okay, now let's create an item in here, okay? Right there. And let's put in, first of all, the ID is going to be ampersand and what is it? It is menu search. Silly me, it's not going to pop up because we're creating it. MENU and menu search. Silly me, it's not going to pop up because, closing quotation mark. Okay, the next thing is the title. Type in title and hit enter. It should pop that right in there for you. We're going to say search. CH. Okay. And then we're going to take and put an icon in there, ICON, CON right there. And we're going to say that is in our drawables. Oh, there it is right there, right at the top. Enter. And now we're going to put in some app things here. Okay, some information we're getting from this right here. We're going to say app action view. This one for some reason doesn't pop in by itself. Is equal to quotation mark Android dot widget dot search view, like that. And action view class is equal to Android dot widget dot search view. Let's keep going. APP colon, and there's show as always, like that. Take and close out on this view like that. Here's my issue right up here. I told it the wrong one. I hit enter too soon. Okay. This is supposed to be res apk res minus auto. And that fixes it. There we go, right there. Okay. Wonderful. That's working. You can go ahead and run it again, see what happens. Shouldn't be any different, but it's going to proofread it for you. There's nothing new, but we know it's proofread. Everything seems to be working correctly. Let's go back to our activity main. We're going to take in, we're going to, right here, we're going to take in, create our menu now, okay? This is actually going to take and pop up our menu for us. We're going to type in on create right there, on create menu, right there, hit enter. And it creates this code for us. First thing we're going to do here is we're going to take and we're going to create a menu inflator. Menu inflator. And that's going to be equal to get menu inflator, just like that. Next line is inflator. Oh, I did this wrong here. Let's get this out of here like this. Make this inflator. Okay, there we go. Keep my code same as the last one, hopefully. Now my inflator right there. Dot inflate. What am I going to inflate? I'm going to inflate my R dot menu dot right there, menu search, like that. Okay, and a comma, we're going to say we're going to create a menu out of that. Semicolon, like that. And then we're going to say menu item right there, item. And that's going to be equal to a menu dot find item, which one, R dot ID dot menu search right there. Beautiful. It's all typed in. It works well. Search view is equal to casted as a search view right there. Oh. Search view right there. Oh, I still don't want it. Search view. I mean, I'll just type it right in. There. Okay, item dot get action view right there, like that. Semicolon. Enter. Okay, so what these lines are doing here, they're actually creating that menu item for us. And now all we have to do is we have to create a listener. Menu item. Okay, to do that, we're going to say a search view dot set on query listener and a new search view on query listener, just like that. Okay, now we have to put one line down here. Right up to this line right here, we're going to say this is going to be applying a filter to array adapter, which supplies data to the list view. That okay, and that's really quite easy. Array adapter dot get filter dot filters, and then which one we're going to say give it this right here. It's going to give us whatever we type in. If we typed in a MI, this S is going to MI, and so we stick that in there just like that, and that should be it. Go ahead and try running it. Hey, go ahead, and I think we're done. For assignment this week, we got to make a application. Looks going to look something like this with all the states in here in a list box. Be able to scroll up and down, and when you click on, for example, Michigan, it should pop up state of Michigan, or excuse me, capital of Michigan is Lansing. Okay, we're also going to have a search button on it. You'll be able to click on that. You'll be able to narrow down your list by typing in like M, will give you all the states with M. MI would give you just states start with MI. Go ahead and start up your Visual Studio. Start a new project. Let's call this state capitals. Like that. Next, 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 finish. The first thing we're going to do is go to our main activity here. Go to our design. Get rid of Hello World. Click on that, hit delete. Go to our containers up here. Grab a list view, drag it down here, and it should put it right in there. Fill that whole activity right up. Let's go ahead and call this LIST capital VIW, like that. This is a lowercase, this is uppercase. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go back into our Blackboard here. Go ahead and click on this right here where it says strings.txt. We're going to take and we're going to add, go ahead and Control A, Control C, copy all that. We're going to take and we're going to add that to app, resources, values, and strings. I could just go Control A, Control V there. That will paste everything in there for me like that. Okay. Lovely. What that will do is that'll give us arrays that are available through our resources. This one's called states. It's got all the states in it. And this one down here is capitals. Okay, and it's a string array and it's got all the capitals in there. Beautiful. Okay, we can shut that one right down. We don't need it anymore. Let's go to our main activity. First thing we're going to do in here is we're going to take and we're going to add a couple of global. When I put those two little forward slash, that means it's a remark and the computer won't compile it. They're just there for my own use. I'm going to add global variables that will be used throughout this class. Okay, first of all, we're going to create an array adapter. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Array adapter A, array adapter, semicolon, like that. We're also going to take in list view, create a list view like that. Oh, let's see, I put a capital V. like that, okay, so that we can be able to get at that list view any place in our program, okay, and then we're going to create a string array called states, so we can get at that any place we want to, and a string array capitals, so we can get at that any place we want to. Okay, once again, this list view, later on we're going to take and associate that with this list view right here, okay, but we can't do it quite yet. We have to wait for the onCreate method to activate here for us. First of all, what we're going to do here is we're going to take and we're going to add that populate our string here. Right there, we're going to say states is equal to get resources dot get string array. Inside here, we're going to go r dot, here we can go array, okay, dot, there it is right there, states. Once again, it's referring to this, where's our strings right here, okay. Once we say that that's an array in there, okay, now we can take and refer to it out here as an array right there. Let's do the same thing with capital. Capitals is equal to get resources dot get string array r dot array dot, what's it, capitals right there. Lovely, just like that, okay. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take and assign alias to our list view. So we can take and do things with that. List view is equal to cast it as a list view. Okay, find view id r dot id dot, and of course we called it list view over there. Didn't we? We called it list view in here, right here. Okay, list view. Okay, and then what else are we going to do? We're going to create an array adapter. Okay, an array adapter can take a string, an array right here of strings right here, and it can associate that with a list view. And a link it to list view like that. Okay, array. Once again, we called it up here, already created up there, so we're just going to call it and we're going to remake it down here. That's going to equal to a new array adapter, and we're going to send it some information. This is the first thing we're going to send it, comma, and an Android dot r dot layout dot, right there, that first one, just like that. I'm going to try to explain this, okay? I know this is the current activity that we're in. I'm not really sure what this is, okay? But I know it does work. And then we have to add one more thing here yet. States, like that, okay? Just like that, wonderful. And then we're going to see our list view dot set adapter right there. And which one we're going to do? We're going to put our array adapter in there like that. Okay, beautiful. Why don't you go ahead and run it now. And after a really long time, it should go ahead and build itself. Should be able to look at all these states that are listed in here, scroll up and down with your finger, things like that. Okay, that's all working. Good. Next thing you want to know is we want to create a listener now for that list. And when we click on one of those states with our finger, okay, it's going to show us what the capital is. Let's go ahead and for our list view dot set on click right there listener. And here we got to put in a new adapter. And we can hit enter and it'll build that for us. Wonderful. Inside here, what we want to do is we want to get the position, get the position, the item at, which will give us the text that we clicked, like that, okay? And so we say string state is equal to our list view. We've got a cast that says a string. And then we're going to say our list view dot get item at position right there. And we have to say, well, which position are we at? Fortunately, this on-click adapter here gives us I here, which is actually the number of the one that we just clicked. How cool is that, huh? Semicolon. Okay, now we got to find the capital that goes with this. Now we could say, well, if it's number 5 on our list view, go ahead and look at capital number 5. But the only problem with that is that one of these days when we do a search, it's going to minimize how many items are in there based on our search. And so we're going to have fewer numbers. And now the first in our list box doesn't associate with the first in the array anymore. So what we have to do is we got to find that. Okay, and we're going to do an int array location is equal to, and then here we can use a method of arrays dot binary search called. Okay, and what are we going to check for? Binary search, we want to do states, comma, state, like that. What that's going to do is going to search in the array of states, and it's going to find, if you clicked on Michigan, okay, it's going to find Michigan in there, and it's going to return a number that we're going to put in array location. And now we can say string capital is equal to capitals. Look at our whole array. Which one? We're going to put array loc in there like that. And so now we should have both our state and our capital, okay? I've got to make a little note in here. This gets the element number in the array states that is equal to state. Right there, okay? And then we go pick that one out with that. Okay, now we know how to do that. Let's go ahead and create what they call a toast, okay? A toast is actually a little pop-up that says something. You can put some text in there, okay? Show toast. To do that, we have to create a toast, T-O-A-S-T. We just say toast dot make text, okay? And we want to, first of all, we have to give it a bunch of information. We have to get our application context right there, comma, and then I'm going to go to the next line here because it's going to get kind of long. Here I'm going to start creating a string. The capital of, okay, now let's take and append onto this string our state, and a plus, quotation mark, space is, space, and plus, and then give it a capital. So it should say, if I clicked on Michigan, it should say the capital of Michigan is equal to Lansing. I have to put a comma, and then I have to say one more thing here, which toast dot length long. Okay, not really sure why that goes in there, but it does, and that's how it works. Dot show. And just like that. Okay. Now I'll go ahead and run it and see what happens. cool, that works pretty good. Notice how it doesn't take as long to create the program and run it this time. I would highly recommend that. Just write some code, check it out, write some code, check it out, and that way if you get an error, you notice. One of the ways you can find out you have an error is that the program will pop, or the app will pop up on your tablet, and all of a sudden just like that it shuts down. That means it's crashed, okay? And then we have to go in there and figure out what's wrong with it. But as long as you don't have any typos in here to give you the red curly marks, okay, you should be okay. Beautiful. The next thing we want to do is we want to create a new menu item, okay? To do that, we have to do a couple different things. This, first of all, we want to put an icon in there. So let's go to our drawable up here. Right click on that and say we want to do a new image asset, okay? All kinds of built-ins ones we can use. There's a bunch of icons that they normally put on the action bar. Right here, that's what we're going to look for. We're going to call this replace name with search. Like that. And let's go look for it. It looks for one called search. Okay, if we click on that right there, let's take and narrow it down by typing in search. There it is right there. If I click on that, see OK. Just like that, and say finish, or next and finish. Okay, and you're going to see that it's in here. If you look inside Drawable, you'll find it. Next thing we have to do is we have to create a menu item. Okay, to do that, we have to create a resource, a menu type. To do that, we have to create, first of all, a menu up here. So right-click on resource up here and say a new directory. Make sure you don't get sample data directory, get directory right there. Okay, we're going to call this directory menu right there like that. Okay, look at that right there. Popped up right there. Right click on that and say a new, this time we're going to put a menu resource file in there. If you didn't click on menu, you're going to get something else, but in this case being we right clicked on menu, we get that right there. We're going to call this menu underscore search. So now normally what you would do is you'd have a whole bunch of different menu items, okay? And in this case, we're going to call it menu search. You can call it menu, I don't know, file or something like that. But in this case, we're going to call it menu search. Can't use capital letters and you can't use spaces. We're going to put a underscore in there, like that. Huh, looks a lot like our activity main, doesn't it? Just a little different, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to just code this in as text. First thing we have to do is we're going to use something called app in here, okay? And it doesn't know what app is yet, so we have to add some code that will do that. Type in menu, space XMLNS colon, Android, app. So we're going to line above it like that is equal to, and then we're going to tell it to go out on the internet and find where this is actually saved. HTTP colon // schemas.android.com. It's starting to pop up there for us. Okay, we want the res auto right there. And semicolon. I don't know where I got menu from. This doesn't belong in here. I'm dreaming or something or other. There we go, like that. Okay. Okay, beautiful. Now let's create an item, okay? Less than item. Right there, like that. And hit enter, go to the next line. What we want to do is we want to add an ID. So if you type in ID and hit enter, it should pop in Android ID there for it. It starts out like that, and then we're going to call it menu search, like that. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a title to it, so just start typing TIT title like that, and this is going to be called search. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to give it an icon, CON, and just give it that at drawable right there. Popped right in for us. Beautiful. Then we're going to do some, oops, I'm sorry, don't put that there. Then we're going to put a app in there, something to do with app, okay? And this is where it's important that we get this in up here first, because that gives us a bunch of methods for app. And we're going to do an app dot action right there. Action show as. Nope, I don't want to do that one yet. I'm going to do another one first. Okay, we're going to do an action. And this is going to be a view. This one doesn't pop up for some reason. Equal to quotation mark Android and dot widget. That's wrong. No ampersand ANDROID dot widget dot search, like that. Search view. Beautiful. Okay, and an app dot show colon show. Now it pops up. Okay, we want this to show always. What that means is that that will always show up in your bar on your application. Okay, and we want to hit the greater than key because we want that to be the end of the item right there. Beautiful, just like that. Now we want to go back to our activity Java and write some more code, okay? What we've done now is we actually create a menu item, and now we want to utilize that menu item, okay? You want to go down here, just before that last curly brace, hit enter down there, give yourself a new line. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to do an on create right there. On create, make sure we got the right one. Menu, just like that. Hit enter. Okay, and it'll create that little template for us. Beautiful. What we want to do is we want to kick this down, okay? Nope, wait. Yeah, we want to kick this down a little bit. Return has to be all the way down the bottom of your program. For those that program Java, if you put something below here, it won't run, okay? So we're going to put some stuff right in here. We're going to do what they call it menu inflator. Right there, okay? Menu inflator, and it's going to be called inflator. Is equal to a get menu inflator semicolon. And now with this inflator dot inflate, here we want to inflate our r dot menu dot menu search right there, and comma. Make sure I put this in the right spot. Yep, I got it right. Right here you put comma and then a menu in there like that. I ended up with an extra curly brace here. Pardon that little interruption, a little screw up there. Not bad. Okay, here we go. And then we're going to create a menu item. Item. Right there, we're going to call it item. Whoop. Like that is equal to menu dot find item. And inside there, we're going to put r dot id dot menu search right there. And semicolon. Beautiful, just like that. And then we're going to put in a search view. Search view is equal to, we have to cast as a search view. And we're going to say item dot get action view right there like that, semicolon. Okay, what this is actually going to do is it's going to take and put that that menu item on our tablet, okay, on the bar just about at the top of our application. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to create a listener now for the search menu item. that. Search view dot set on query text listener. Type in a new and a search view right there like that. It's going to read all this code for us, okay? Just like that. We aren't going to do anything with this top one here, but the bottom one we are right there, okay? And when something happens on in that search view, okay, when that text changes, okay, we want to take and we want to apply filter to the array adapter, which supplies data to the list view. Just like that. Okay, really easy, one line. Array adapter dot get filter dot filter. And what do we want to send it? Fortunately, this thing sends us S right here. Okay, we receive S here, and S is actually the letters that I'm typing into my search bar. Okay, S, just like that. Go ahead and run your program. See what happens. The search bar and everything should work now. Okay, let's hear everyone in the class go, aha, it works. Should work. You still should have the ability to scroll up and down with your finger on the list view. Be able to select one and it will show a toast of which the capital of the current state. And also if you click on the little magnifying glass on the top, you should be allowed to type in letters there, and it should narrow down the list or your array that's currently in your list view. Good job.